If you are waking up 2, 3, or even 4 times every single night to rush to the bathroom, you have likely assumed it is just an inevitable part of getting older. Many older adults describe this feeling as a frustrating tax on aging that they simply have to accept. But what if the real culprit isn't your age at all? What if the very way you drink water throughout the day is actively destroying your sleep? There is an invisible danger to these frequent nighttime trips that goes far beyond simple fatigue, creating a hidden biological trigger that completely changes how your body handles fluids after age 60. Missing this shift can have drastic consequences for your longevity, but the ultimate solution is not what you think. It has nothing to do with drinking less water. In fact, it might involve drinking more water, but at a very specific time, and the science behind it is going to surprise you completely. Hello, I'm Dr. Robert Carter. Welcome back to Wisdom Vitals. Over my decades of clinical experience, I have seen thousands of mature adults whose lives were completely disrupted by broken sleep. Today, we are breaking down a highly effective 5-step water drinking protocol that could help reduce your nighttime bathroom trips by up to 60%, often within the very first week. But there is another reason most people never hear about this. We often treat nighttime urination, medically known as nocturia, as a minor inconvenience. However, the data tells a much more serious story. Many adults notice their sleep becoming increasingly fragmented as the years go on, but they rarely report it to their doctor, not realizing that waking up multiple times a night severely disrupts deep sleep cycles. This deep sleep is critical for brain health, immune function, and cardiovascular repair. When you are forced to navigate a dark bedroom while exhausted, the physical risks skyrocket. A landmark study published by the National Institute on Aging revealed that adults over the age of 65 who experience 3 or more nighttime awakenings to urinate have a 400% higher risk of falls. Furthermore, the data showed a significantly elevated risk of depression and a measurably shorter life expectancy compared to those who sleep soundly through the night. That 400% increase in fall risks should stop us in our tracks. We aren't just talking about losing a few hours of rest. We are talking about an issue that quietly threatens your safety, your independence, and your future. Recognizing that frequent nighttime urination is not a baseline requirement of aging is your first step to reclaiming your health. Before we dive into the step-by-step protocol, let's check in with our community. Take a moment to drop a comment below and tell us your age and how many times you are currently getting up at night. I read our community's responses to help ensure we are addressing your exact health needs. Now, let's count down the 5 strategies, ranked from helpful to absolutely life-changing. Strategy number 5, the evening water cutoff rule. Almost everyone attempting to fix this issue makes the exact same mistake with their evening routine, thinking they are doing themselves a favor. When you drink fluids too late in the evening, you force your vital organs to work overtime when they are biologically programmed to rest. Think of your kidneys as a sophisticated 24-hour water treatment facility. During the day, they filter aggressively, but as evening approaches, they follow an internal biological clock, a circadian rhythm, that tells them to slow down, concentrate your urine, and reduce output so you can sleep undisturbed. As we age, this internal clock can hit a few snags. By the time we pass age 70, the kidney's natural ability to concentrate urine overnight decreases by roughly 30% to 40% compared to when we were younger. Introducing a large volume of liquid late in the evening is like asking a tired worker at the very end of a long shift to suddenly take on a double workload. Research from Osaka University, published in Chronobiology International, found that disruptions to the kidney's circadian rhythm are directly linked to elevated nocturia in adults over 60. The primary disruptor is consuming significant fluids in the 2 to 3 hours right before bedtime. You might carefully stop drinking water at 8 p.m., thinking that's plenty of time before a 10:30 p.m. bedtime. Yet, you still find yourself awake and walking down the hallway a few hours later, because that fluid arrived right when the kidneys were trying to wind down. To fix this, establish a strict fluid boundary line at 6:30 p.m. Shifting your final beverage of the day to this earlier time can dramatically ease the nighttime burden on your kidneys. Many adults notice that this single adjustment reduces their nighttime trips by 1 to 2 visits within the very first week. But what if you get thirsty later in the evening? What happened next surprised many researchers, because the answer actually lies in how you start your day. Strategy number 4, the morning hydration loading strategy. The true problem for most seniors isn't that they are drinking too much water overall, it's that they are drinking it at entirely the wrong times. Many older adults are highly underhydrated in the morning and overhydrated in the evening, creating a fluctuating cycle that guarantees sleep disruptions. Think of your body's hydration needs like a bank account. You want to make your largest deposits early in the day when the bank is fully open. Front-loading your hydration means consuming the vast majority of your liquids between waking up and 2 o'clock p.m. During these hours, your kidneys are fully awake, highly active, and perfectly capable of processing fluids efficiently. This becomes crucial because after age 65, the brain's internal thirst sensor becomes blunted. The hypothalamus simply doesn't signal thirst as sharply as it used to. You might go hours without realizing you need water, only to feel an intense urge to drink late in the afternoon or evening, compensating at the worst possible time. A study from the University of Tokyo followed adults aged 65 to 80 and found that those who shifted at least 60% of their daily fluid intake to before 2 o'clock p.m. experienced a 47% reduction in nighttime urination frequency, even though they drank the exact same total amount of water as the control group. Instead of sipping small amounts of water throughout the day and chugging a glass at dinner, imagine filling your internal reservoir early so your body never feels that late-day panic thirst. What I recommend is drinking 16 ounces, which is 2 full cups of water within 30 minutes of waking up, before coffee, tea, or breakfast. Keep hydrating steadily so that by 2 p.m. you have hit roughly 70% of your daily fluid goal. After 2 p.m., taper off and transition to small sips. To make this work even better, pair your morning water with light movement, like a 10-minute walk, which activates the lymphatic system and helps your body distribute the fluid effectively. We will come back to the bladder in a moment. First, there is another hidden connection inside your kitchen that might be causing your cells to reject the water you drink. Strategy number 3. The salt and electrolyte connection. This next strategy raises eyebrows in medical offices every single time it's mentioned because it directly challenges a common piece of standard advice. For decades, adults have been told to strictly limit their salt intake. While valid for certain cardiovascular conditions, a drastic shortage of essential minerals can actually force your bladder to fill up much faster. Minerals like sodium, potassium, and magnesium act like a microscopic sponge, holding water inside your cells where it belongs. If you drink massive amounts of plain, completely purified water without adequate mineral balance, your cells cannot retain it. The water passes straight through your bloodstream and empties directly into your bladder in a very short window of time. As the kidneys mature, they also become less efficient at reabsorbing sodium. If your mineral levels are too low, it triggers a cascade. Your cells dump water, your body keeps sending fluid to the bladder, and you keep waking up at night. Research published in the American Journal of Kidney Diseases found that older adults with lower dietary sodium levels showed measurably higher rates of nocturia compared to those maintaining a moderate, balanced intake of around 2,000 milligrams daily. You might be drinking glass after glass of plain water, yet your skin feels dry, you feel fatigued, and you are running to the bathroom every hour because the water is just running right through your system. What I suggest to my patients is adding a tiny single pinch of high-quality sea salt or Himalayan salt to your morning water. This trace amount of sodium helps your cells lock in that early hydration. Ensure you are also consuming foods rich in potassium and magnesium, like avocados, bananas, leafy greens, or pumpkin seeds. For a powerful synergy, try pairing this mineral-enhanced morning water with a small amount of healthy fat, like a few almonds or a slice of avocado, which helps stabilize cell membranes. If this evidence-based breakdown is giving you a brand new perspective on your health, please take a brief moment to click the subscribe button below and give this video a thumbs up. This simple action helps our community grow and ensures we can keep reaching mature adults who deserve high-quality, practical health information. Now, the most overlooked part of bladder health may be how we treat the bladder muscle itself in the late afternoon. Strategy number 2, the evening tea and bladder retraining ritual. For many people, chronic underhydration actually causes the bladder to shrink in functional capacity, creating an oversensitive system. When a bladder becomes unaccustomed to holding a healthy volume of liquid, it starts sending panic signals to the brain when it is only a fraction of the way full. Your bladder is a muscular organ, and like any muscle, It adapts to how it is used. If you have been chronically underhydrating or running to the restroom at the slightest urge, the bladder muscle becomes highly sensitive. It begins firing urgency signals when it is only 30% or 40% full, rather than waiting until it reaches a normal healthy capacity. A collaborative study between King's College London and the University of Pittsburgh, published in Neurology and Urodynamics, demonstrated that a structured hydration and bladder retraining protocol improved functional bladder capacity by up to 35% over 8 weeks, directly leading to fewer nighttime awakenings. You might lie down in bed and within an hour feel a powerful urge to urinate, only to produce a tiny amount of urine. That is a classic sign of an oversensitive bladder muscle. To fix this, at 5 p.m., well before your 6:30 p.m. cutoff, drink 4 to 6 ounces of warm chamomile or valerian root tea. These specific herbs contain natural properties that help soothe and relax the smooth muscle walls of the bladder. Sip it slowly over 15 minutes. This isn't for deep hydration. It's a gentle, predictable signal to train the bladder to hold fluid calmly. Pair this with a brief 15-minute evening walk. Movement encourages your kidneys to process remaining daytime fluid while your body is still upright and active, rather than having that fluid pool and process while you are lying down. This brings us directly to our number one strategy, the single most powerful tool for an uninterrupted night's sleep. Strategy number 1, the afternoon leg elevation protocol. We have reached the ultimate strategy on our list, a method that sounds almost too simple to be true, yet it targets the single biggest hidden cause of midnight bathroom trips. When you lie down flat at night, a massive volume of fluid that was hidden in your lower body suddenly rushes back into your bloodstream, completely overwhelming your kidneys while you are trying to sleep. Throughout the day, as you sit, stand, or watch television, gravity naturally pulls fluid downward into the tissues of your lower legs and ankles. In mature adults, our veins don't pump blood back up to the heart quite as efficiently as they once did, because vascular muscle tone decreases significantly over time. If you notice your ankles or lower legs swelling even slightly by the end of the day, this is exactly what is happening. Your lower legs can store up to a full liter of fluid. The moment you lie flat in bed to sleep, gravity loses its grip. All that trapped fluid drains back into your circulatory system almost immediately, delivers a concentrated surge to your kidneys, and gets processed into urine during the first 2 to 3 hours of your sleep. This is why so many seniors wake up at 11 p.m. or midnight, just an hour or two after falling asleep, and can't understand why, since they stopped drinking hours before. A landmark study from Chao Nagasaki University, published in the journal PLOS ONE, examined adults over 60 with nocturia. The group that performed afternoon leg elevation for 8 weeks experienced an average reduction of 1.4 nighttime bathroom trips, with 31% of participants achieving complete resolution of their nocturia simply by changing where that fluid went during the day. When you elevate your legs above your heart level in the afternoon, you allow that accumulated leg fluid to drain back into circulation, while your kidneys are still fully active and functioning at their daytime peak. Your kidneys then process that fluid immediately, converting it to urine that you excrete before you ever go to bed. Between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. every afternoon, lie down on a bed or couch and elevate your legs using a wedge pillow or a firm stack of standard pillows so your feet are approximately 12 inches above the level of your heart. Set a timer for 30 to 45 minutes. For maximum results, wear mild, over-the-counter compression socks during the day. Studies from the University of British Columbia found that combining daytime compression socks with afternoon leg elevation reduced nocturia events by an astounding 58%. To help you put this all together, remember the core steps of the routine. Front-load your water in the morning with a pinch of high-quality salt. Keep 70% of your fluids before 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Elevate your legs for 30 minutes in the afternoon. Enjoy a relaxing cup of herbal tea at 5 o'clock in the evening, and maintain a firm fluid cutoff at 6:30 p.m. Living with broken, interrupted sleep chips away at your vitality, causing physical fatigue, brain fog, and an increased risk of injury. alongside the emotional frustration of feeling like your body is letting you down. But it is vital to remember that your body still possesses an incredible capacity to change, adapt, and improve at any age. Vascular health, bladder capacity, and biological habits can all be positively retrained with the right evidence-based approach. When you reclaim your sleep, you reclaim your daytime energy, your loved ones, your travel plans, and your independence. Thank you for investing this time in your longevity with Wisdom Vitals. If this video brought true value to your life, please consider subscribing to our channel to receive weekly, evidence-based insights designed specifically for your health journey. Before you go, I want to hear directly from you. Which of these 5 strategies are you going to implement first in your daily routine? Drop your answer in the comments below, share your story, and sleep well tonight.